This is Stephen Shepard. I'm here with the wonderful and talented Christina Grimmie. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you literally just turned 22. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I heard from a little birdie that someone special sang you happy birthday. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. So the other night, I did have a birthday. It was March 12th. And yeah, so that night we had a show in Boston. And Rachel Platten is the sweetest thing in the world. She kind of surprised me with inviting me on stage for Stand By You before she sang that song. And I got out there and she's like, I want everyone to, sing happy birthday. And it was crazy. And then they brought out a cake on stage. It was really crazy. Really cool.
Now tell me, what flavor?
It was chocolate with like walnuts and caramel and all this fun stuff.
That sounds like a truffle cake, and that's making me hungry.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So 22 is a big year. It's the year that Taylor Swift has made infinitely more significant since she put out that song.
Mm-hmm.
What excites you about the year to come?
Oh my goodness, everything. Definitely all this tour travel has been really, really fun and quite the adventure. And I feel like I'm definitely feeling some new music coming on. I did just release Side A, which is like my brand new EP. So the part B to that will be coming out eventually. So
I was going to ask that because I'm thinking, all right, Justin Timberlake did 2020 and then 2020 part 2. Are you going to do Side A and Side B?
Yes, I am. I'm really stoked. That's like the whole reason I called it Side A in the first place, because I was like, I kind of want to hint at, it's not only 4 tracks. Don't worry, there's going to be more tracks.
All right. Many people know you from your time on The Voice, and don't worry, we will get to that. But a lot of people don't know you started off on YouTube as a musician doing cover songs.
Yes.
What was your mindset at that point in life, putting yourself out there on the World Wide Web when YouTube was still in its infancy?
I didn't really have a goal in mind. A lot of people ask, what was your goal and what did you hope to accomplish when you started? I don't know. Truly, I just love to sing. I love to play. And I think the joy of seeing it back, was cool for me, putting it up and, getting all the requests for different songs. I was like, oh, this is something for me to do if I'm doing what I love to do and making people happy at the same time,
I know you've done work on YouTube with Kurt Schneider, Sam Shuey, Mike Tompkins, one of my personal favorites, the stuff you've done with him. What was your favorite YouTube collab that you've done?
Oh, man, it's so hard to pick. You got Tyler Ward, Kurt, Sam, Mike. Out of all of them, I will say Just a Dream with Kurt and Sam was one of my favorites because that kind of set the bar a little bit for, I think, YouTube covers in general, because Kurt is a genius and he came up with that whole idea. So that was really, something I even still think about. I still hear about it. People tell me, how much they love it.
The weird twist with Kurt, he went to Yale, which is right next door here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure his company still works out of here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it's called Noodle House or something like that.
Noodle House.
I think that's
a great name, personally.
I have to look that up again. How much has your musical taste changed from when you were first starting out as a vocalist?
Kind of changed a lot, because when I've basically been singing my whole life. The joy of singing was just me chilling, writing a song, whatever, just singing. But then it kind of grew into something I wanted to master rather than just do for fun. So I feel like I've really started to care more about the range and, how can I showcase my vocals in the songs that I sing,
Do you find that the style of music you make isn't always the style of music you constantly listen to? I'll give an example. I pretty much love every genre, but Christian rock like Skillet will always have a special place in my heart. Mm-hmm. But the genres I feel comfortable singing are pop, show tunes, and country. Do you ever feel that way?
Absolutely. Like 100%. Actually, that's the problem, with a lot of artists today that are trying to figure out who they are, is they're like, the music I listen to is so far from how my voice sounds or what I like to sing and what I gravitate towards. For me, definitely, I'm like straight up, I like Aretha Franklin and Christina Aguilera, Whitney Houston, but I don't really, constantly release the that old school stuff. Like, I don't really do that. That's why I cover them. But yeah, my music is chill, pop, ballad, R&B, like that. But it's definitely more current than, any of that. But I totally know what you mean there.
So one thing led to another, and you've ended up touring around the nation and world twice with Selena Gomez. How was that? Any highlights you can think of when you were on one of those tours?
I feel like I not trying to spoil anything for The Voice, but like I definitely learned so much on those tours because I was touring with Selena Gomez before I went on The Voice, and I don't know if I would have been able to do The Voice as well if I didn't have that previous stage experience, because I was literally just this little 17-year-old girl running around on a stage for an arena, you know, every night. And at some point you get used to that and you're comfortable. And I think that helped carry me through a lot of the journey after the tours, for sure.
Yeah. Did you get close with Selena?
I would say a decent amount of close. I wasn't like best friends with her or anything, but she was definitely really cool to me. Reminds me a lot of how Rachel has been with me on this tour. Just very loving, very genuine, always, saying, oh, if you're uncomfortable in, this area, you can come hang out with me or come and use my dressing room, stuff like that. She was always really kind.
The Voice on NBC. You're absolutely fantastic on it.
Oh, thank you.
I knew from the first note in your blind audition that you were going to go far on that show.
Thank you.
What were some of the things you learned from your time on The Voice? You learned a lot from Selena Gomez's tours, but what did you learn most on The Voice?
I think I learned overall just professionalism and how to carry myself under pressure. I mean, yeah, if you're live, you can mess up and maybe laugh at yourself a little, but the show must go on. But, for The Voice, it's like if you do that, it's forever recorded on live TV. It's a little different. And there's a sense of professionalism that you need to have going on to the top 10 and the top 8 and stuff like that. You really have to prove yourself. And I feel like I learned a lot about that.
Do you happen to remember Kristen Merlin on that show?
Of course. She's from Boston.
She actually got her undergraduate degree from here.
Oh, nice.
She came back for a show shortly after the season wrapped up. It was very nice. She definitely has a great range. I think you two would do a very good duet if you're able to in the future.
She's amazing. We went on the Voice tour together, and I feel like her part of the set was always one of my favorites personally to listen to. She sang that Carrie Underwood song. What is it? Two Black Cadillacs?
Two Black Cadillacs.
Oh, my word. It's so good. It's one of my favorites.
I'm asking this next question specifically for my mother because she has a crush on him. How is Adam Levine as a coach?
He is awesome. As a coach, he is exactly what you see on the show, truly in person. He mentored me very much so, a lot. And I definitely learned a lot about just chilling out, I guess, from him. When the pressure would get like really crazy, he would just kind of be like, you can't treat this like it's that uptight. He's like, at some point you have to fake your confidence at least to gain real confidence. Yeah, he was cool.
And now you're on tour with Rachel Platten, the Wildfire tour?
Yes.
Rachel Platten is the songstress behind Fight Song. Have you gotten to perform that song with her on stage?
No, I have not performed Fight Song. That's kind of like her moment to
Yeah, that's fair.
Cheer with everyone. But she does enjoy when me and Eric Hutchinson, the other supporting act, we come out on stage for Stand By You. That's a party. It's a good time.
Good. Besides the whole happy birthday surprise, what has your favorite memory been on this tour so far?
Oh my goodness. Besides that, gosh, I think...
Although that probably tops it, I'm going to guess.
It does. That was definitely a big moment and very, very special. And she totally did not have to do that, and she went out of her way to do that. I would say other than that, the end of the night is usually my favorite part, where I get to meet all the fans that came out to see me and all the new fans as well. That's always really fun. I love to meet them, and I feel bad because I take up so much time doing it that the venue's actually closing, and I'm just still I'm like, wait, I still have people I need to meet. So
at this point in your life, who would you say are your biggest musical inspirations and influences?
Definitely Christina Aguilera. She's been one of my favorites, vocally speaking, because I've basically learned everything that I know since I was 17 till now from her. I'm sorry, 15. I was 15 when I started listening to her. But growing up, it's always been Stacey Rico. For those of you that don't know who she is, she was like a Christian pop artist, and she basically taught me how to soul, So I definitely learned like the R&B side from her, and she's still one of my favorite singers to this day.
You always seem to have spot-on vocals. Do you have any tips for vocal health to make sure you keep up a good stage voice? Like, do you have any tricks of the trade?
I have so much on vocal health. It's not even funny. I'm obsessed with technique, just making sure that I'm always singing properly, as they say, because it's so easy to throw out your voice. Even in one night, if you're doing something, if you warm up improperly, that could set the course for the rest of the tour, So for me, I definitely do warm-ups for about a half hour, an hour, 2 hours before the show. Just little, brews and stuff. Lots of honey. Lots of tea, not lots of tea, don't overdo the tea. Yeah, don't scream a lot, don't shout a lot when you're done a show, vocal rest. Rachel does that every night.
Going back to side A, what would you say is your favorite song off of that EP?
I wouldn't really say that I've got a favorite, quote unquote, that like tops everything, but I will say I refer to Deception as my baby because I kind of wrote that in like segments. I started it like a year ago, and then one day randomly was just like hit with all these like this truck of emotion, and then I was just like wrote the rest in like 5 minutes. So it's my baby. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite, but I guess so. I guess you could say that, whatever.
Now, what would you say is your favorite original song to perform in general? It doesn't have to be off of side A.
Oh goodness. I think Liar Liar is still one of my favorites to perform, mainly based off of crowd response because a lot of people know it, and it's just fun to sing. It never gets old. That and Anybody's You is actually really fun to sing live. I feel like a lot of people have come up to me after the show and said, wow, like I relate to that song. Me and my boyfriend actually, we were best friends growing up, and oh my gosh, it has so much to do with me, stuff like that. So I love hearing that.
What would you say is the best cover you have ever performed?
I would say Wrecking Ball. I adore singing that. It's so much fun. It just takes me back to that time on The Voice, and that was definitely one of the best times of my life.
Now to wrap things up, I've been asking some generic to kind of serious questions this whole time. Let's end things on a more energetic note.
All right.
I would call it a lightning round, but I don't want to go so fast where people don't understand what we're saying.
Got you.
So we'll call it a thunder round. I don't know.
Thunder. I like that, actually.
I'm getting stares from the person behind me, I'm sure.
I love it. I'm laughing, don't worry. I'm chuckling.
Pretty much, I'll ask you a couple of things, and you tell us which one you like more.
Got you.
Unless you absolutely love or hate them both.
Got you.
Christina, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Spring, summer, fall, or winter?
Summer.
Ice cream, gelato, or frozen yogurt?
Ice cream.
Team Iron Man or Team Cap?
Iron Man.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Or Wonder Woman?
Still Batman.
Okay. PC or Mac?
Mac overall. Sorry.
iPhone or Android?
Android has got its perks, but you know what? I'll go with the iPhone.
Okay. Anna Kendrick or Rebel Wilson?
Oh, that's hard. Everyone says I look like Anna Kendrick, so let's go with Anna.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Usher or Shakira?
Usher.
PewDiePie or Markiplier?
PewDiePie. PewDiePie.
And the last one, New York or New Jersey style pizza or Chicago style pizza?
Oh, I gotta go with Jersey. I'm biased because I'm from there, but
it's completely fine. I would have been shocked if you had said deep dish.
No, I'm already biased as it is, but like every time I go back to Jersey, I'm just like, I need pizza and I need cheesesteaks and all that stuff. Italian food in general.
If you're able to, while you're here, you should check out some of the places in New Haven. There's actually, I forget what website it was, but they mapped out something called the Pizza Belt. It basically stretches from Jersey, a little bit of Pennsylvania, New York, and Connecticut as like the best places to get pizza.
Oh, really? Is it like nearby?
Yeah, there's the main three in New Haven. There's Frank Pepe's, Modern, and Sally's.
I'm going to need to get lunch soon, so...
But those ones often have long lines, so I'll give you a couple others. There's also a place called Zupardi's and a place called Brookside that also have good pizza.
Cool. I actually might write these down.
Feel free.
Need some lunch places.
All right, well, you have a very busy tour schedule. I should let you get back to that. It was great talking to you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Let us know when you're back in the area again.
I definitely will.
Now, if listeners want to see what you're up to and where you're touring next, where should they go?
Definitely, I'm on Twitter and Facebook all the time. Check me out there. My Twitter is @TheRealGrimmie. Facebook is just Christina Grimmie. Instagram's @TheRealGrimmie. Also, my website will give you all the latest details on everything, events, whatever, ChristinaGrimmie.com.
All right, thank you very much. You're listening to WNHU West Haven.